This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by
nhliberty.org.
Ian Freeman becomes Ian Bernard. Curtis becomes Sovereign Curtis. Porkfest.com becomes porkfest2010.com, which is destined to become porkfest2011.com. Aside from the fact that this stuff is impossible to keep track of, these mini changes in the names of activists and activist websites violate the principles of good English. History is rarely kind to those who change the names of things. Saigon becoming Ho Chi Minh City. St. Petersburg becoming Leningrad, if I recall correctly. Stalingrad becoming Stalingrad. I can't remember what the previous name of the town was. Maybe Sevastopol? Oh, and then there's JP, the ostracized, controversial, and unreliable free stater who used to change his name every month on the web forums. Why would any of us want to be like any of them? Curtis and Ian are both outstanding activists who've never been accused of any of the unreliability of the aforementioned bad guys. So why would they want to be like them in even this one respect? Now, obviously, I wouldn't talk about these guys if I didn't want to give them free publicity. And I'm just glad that they're important enough to be worth talking about. However, when someone's important and prominent and spewing ideas, it gives you a chance to learn from their mistakes. Hopefully, that's part of why they do it. Now, I'm not criticizing the idea of pen names, and that's not really what we're talking about here. Even George Orwell, the master of the English language, used a pen name. And I have the pen name, Orwell, for my music and some of my older web forum accounts. But this moving target concept with names just comes off sort of flighty or shifty. Hanging on to a name is consistent. At some point, you've got to turn around and stand up for the existing name. I guess some of this concept also applies to the flight of libertarians from the word libertarian, or the flight of anarchists from the word anarchist. I'm not sure that's necessarily such a bad idea, to avoid calling yourself something that people misunderstand. But I kind of hope that at some point we'll reach a size and a level of power where we can keep certain words from losing their meaning. The word anarchist lost its meaning when people calling themselves anarchists went out and used violence rather than simply being against government. The word libertarian has begun to lose its traditional meaning when people took over the Libertarian Party that weren't libertarian. Actually, I think the word began to lose its meaning when the Libertarian Party was created because it became synonymous with Libertarian Party and fruitless political attempts. Right now, the term voluntarist is becoming popular in libertarian circles and hasn't really lost its meaning yet. Personally, I haven't really figured out exactly what to call myself. I had been trying the term provisional voluntarist or modified voluntarist, but that takes a lot of syllables. I don't really know, but I think when I find a term to describe myself, I'll stick with it. And at least I won't change my name. It's really not as big a deal, I think, to change a description as it is to change, though, the name of a place, or the name of yourself, or the name of your organization. I guess it could be interpreted as an admission of failure. Sort of like Blackwater changed their name, or the NKVD changed its name to KGB. I don't know. I just don't see any benefit in any of us imitating those organizations, in even one respect, if we can help it. Oh, there's also the politically correct attempts to change the names of towns in the U.S. that have, traditional names that are becoming ethnically sensitive. Or trying to get the names of football teams changed, like the Kansas City Chiefs. None of this stuff is worth imitating. So I kind of hope that we will see fewer and fewer name changes within our movement, because we do want to separate ourselves from the rest of the communistic world a little bit in terms of the way we behave, if not the place we're located.
Real freedoms are eaten up a little at a time.
I don't know if you were aware of this or not, but there are some pretty scary things happening in this building, the State House in Concord, New Hampshire.
We've already amended the Constitution dozens of times. Let's throw it away for a master plan.
Fortunately, there is the New Hampshire Liberty Alliance. They're fighting back.
But what price freedom?
But they need your help. They offer free training. They offer courses, ways that you can learn how to be most effective in fighting for liberty inside the State House. Visit nhliberty.org to find out when the next class is. If you take it, you'll be a much more effective voice at stopping these folks from taking away your liberty.
Government can't control everything without controlling me.
nhliberty.org